Hello, everyone, and welcome to the new installment of Paranormal Q&A with Jack Kenna and
Charlie Hall.
Carly Hall. There she is.
Yeah,
So we have a special guest tonight, Carly, good friend
we
of
do.
ours, and he's a very talented individual in many ways. You guys have probably seen him on Ghost of Shepherdstown, probably a few other things, but you probably met him at quite a few many events over the years. And that's Mr. Jeffrey Scott Leeper, also known as the Carpenter's Hammer. And Carly, I'll let you talk a little bit about him.
Yeah. So Mr. Leeper is a former co-manager of TAP's family and a past 5-year member of TAP's, the Atlantic Paranormal Society. Jeff Leeper has been in the paranormal for over 4 decades and has extensive research and investigative resources. He's appeared on 2 episodes of the popular series Hunting the Haunted and was just featured in the season 2 finale of The Ghosts of Shepherdstown, a great day for an exorcism, an intense episode about demonic activity. Jeff's newest book, The Carpenter's Hammer, is being filmed as both a documentary and as a full-length movie. Research and personal experiences began for Mr. Jeff Leeper in his childhood. His mother was a common resource for people having these troubles. This sort of thing was basically taboo when he began in the field, and as people feared ridicule Oh my gosh, I apologize. As people feared ridicule even more than ghosts. For this reason, Mr. Jeff Leeper likes and appreciates paramedia, as it has brought the field more mainstream. A skeptical believer, Pastor Jeff's experience has been with both the positive and the negative sides of the paranormal. A researcher belonging to medical groups, Mr. Jeff Leeper has outstanding resources at his disposal. The goal is not to prove or to disprove a haunting, but to find out what the problem is, and in doing so, solve it, regardless of whether it is medical, environmental, or spiritual.
Very, like I said, very talented, very well-educated individual, especially within the paranormal and, within what he does within the paranormal. Without further ado, we're going to introduce our good friend, Mr. Jeffrey Scott Leeper, and here he is. Hey, Jeff.
Hey, kid, how's it going?
All right, how you doing out there?
Well, funny you should ask. First off, my neck is a little sore, and I'm doing great. How about you guys?
Yeah, that's Jeff. He's a comedian as well, everybody. I think I mentioned that in my write-up we did for you, but yeah, he is. He's a blast to have with you. He's a great friend, and you'll never stop laughing around him. I'll tell you that much. And but tell us, what have you been up to lately? I see you got some music stuff in your background. You're down at Link's Music down there, huh?
Yeah, I'm actually sitting here at Link's Music in Hanover, Pennsylvania. Good friends of mine. I get all my gear from them. They're awesome. As a matter of fact, while they're fixing my guitar, the wintertime gets to it sometimes. They gave me another one to use for the night. It's they're a cool bunch of guys. Great deals and stuff. No matter what you buy, get yourself to Hanover, Pennsylvania to Link's Music. I always wanted to say that.
There you go. You just did it. Awesome. Yeah, I know you're a very talented magician. Musician as well. A magician too. I wouldn't be surprised if you do that as well. He's gonna pull a rabbit out of his hat there, folks.
And an excuse out of my butt.
Musician, and I was very surprised the first time I heard you play. I didn't know you had played the guitar and everything else too. I did not realize that, and it was a very pleasant surprise the first time I heard you actually play. I think that was the first time Carly and I heard you play was down at is that Selma Mansion?
Oh,
Carly?
yeah. That was a fun day.
First time we heard you
They
play.
kind of said, "Surprise, you're entertaining us."
Yeah,
literally.
Yeah, really. That was awesome, though. It was a great time.
Yeah, we had an audience that was nearby. All the apartments nearby, they were all coming out to listen to you.
Yeah, calling the cops. It was great.
It was cops. Yep. It was wonderful. It was great. But you are actually a really good singer and musician, and we appreciate you. And with that, we don't have to do it right now, but Jeff has agreed to play us a little ditty tonight, so we won't hold them to that immediately, because as always, we have our fans out here that are watching. We got Bob Maloney. Good to see you out there, Bob. And Bob Burnell, Carl Mitchell, Barry Martz. Barry is here. You know Barry. Michelle Cook, Candace Weston, our other very good friend. How you doing out there, kiddo? You see, we got, who else we got? We got a bunch of people here tonight watching, and they always have questions for us. You know, they don't write at the moment, but they always end up having questions, because this is what we're about: paranormal Q&A, right? We answer people's questions. But you know, you told us a lot about yourself over the couple of years we've gotten to know you and stuff, and you have a very interesting backstory and stuff. And I don't know if you'd like to talk about that a little bit, because you got into being a demonologist. I mean, and you really do deal with some very negative cases and stuff.
Yeah, there's nasty stuff out there.
Yeah. So I'm sure some of our fans and stuff out here would like to hear a little bit about that, and maybe one of the most intense things you've had to deal with.
Well, I'm sure we've all dealt with divorce, but oh no.
Yeah, I did twice.
Oh well, you're good. You're getting good at it.
Oh, don't tell me that.
Yeah, I'm going to marry you too.
There you go.
That's right.
But
Okay.
how did you end up getting into demonology?
silence.
How did you end up getting started and into demonology? The silence is deafening. Yes.
Yeah. Well, it's actually my mom was somebody that helped with, the boogers, as they called them back then, and she was surprisingly gifted, I guess is the best way to say it.
Yeah.
As far as how she dealt with the paranormal, with the bad stuff. I was horrified, but she was, you couldn't phase her. So I slowly learned my way around that. I was about 15 the first time I actually went out and helped somebody with one of those problems. And that's because people were like, well, we know your mom does this. Can you help us? And I'm like, sure. You're 15. You're an idiot.
Yeah, I can do anything. I'm invincible. Yes.
Oh, man. I had a six-pack then. I could do anything. It didn't matter. It's like,
That's right.
put your shirt on. It's 2 degrees outside. It's okay, Mom. It's all right. But now it's, it can be 102, and I'm keeping this thing on. I don't want to talk about it. But but yeah, it was a neighbor actually who said, we're having all this stuff happening at our house, and do you do this too? So it's like, oh, sure. I've been around it all my life, but I hadn't dealt with it. And
Right.
we were successful in helping them with a problem. And of course, I got a 15-year-old fat head and decided I was going to go help everybody. And
Yeah.
sometimes you knocked on your butt and you decide, well, maybe I better work on this a little more before I go out and do that. But it's kind of in the family, in my blood. So I've been doing it ever since. I didn't really get into the demonology end of things until about 10 years ago. Well, actually 13 years ago. And that's because I was pretty badly oppressed myself. And
Right.
I was rescued by another dear friend of mine, Pastor Bill Bean. And at the time, I was in terrible, terrible condition. I was sick all the time, 308 pounds. I only stood 5'5". My eyes were yellow. My skin was yellow. Yeah, I was in bad shape. I was scared. Honestly, I was real scared.
Yeah.
And this thing would show up, and little by little, because there are stages.
Right.
And it seemed like just, oh, what was that? A shadow. What was that? And little by little, as I had more and more accidents, one after the other, and I got sicker and sicker, it got to the point where I couldn't work. The last accident I had was the worst of a series of 7, and I was hit by a drunk driver and left the lane alongside the road at about 1:30 in the morning. And it took a long time to come back from that. And I was after seeing this thing, the first time you see one, I get people saying, "Oh, I want to do that. I want to do that." No,
Yeah.
you don't.
No, you
You don't
don't.
want to do this. No.
Nah.
The first
Nah.
time this thing, little by little, it would make itself more and more palpable, more and more noticeable, more and more there, if you know what I mean.
Right.
And
Yeah,
it alienated me from all my family. It alienated me from my kids, from friends. And little by little, I got sicker and bigger, and it was bad. I couldn't walk, after getting hit by the car. So it was pretty much you're taking care of yourself. And the alienation that went on, I was pretty much taking care of myself. It got to the point where I would roll a rug up under the door in my office so nobody could hear me having conversations with this thing, because it got to be my only friend.
Yeah.
And that scared me when it finally happened. The first time it showed itself to me, it dropped down off the ceiling and just screamed in my face. And I was so completely horrified that I threw up all over myself. I passed out.
Cool. We just lost him. He must have just kicked out. Oh, he'll be back, people. I know Jeff. He won't give up.
Yeah.
He must have lost his connection over there. But yeah, pretty intense. Here he's coming back already. There he is. We'll bring him right back to you. Hey, we lost your stream there.
I'm back.
Yeah, you're back. Pick up right where you left off. Everybody's listening intently out there. I'm kind of watching them. So
I was out for a long time because it was after dark when I woke up. It was about noon when I passed out. And I literally, this isn't figuratively, I literally didn't sleep for over a week, almost 2 weeks. I'd start to fall asleep. It was like coffee, Mountain Dew. It didn't matter. I was staying awake because I was not going to close my eyes and see that again.
Right.
And oddly enough, by the time my family was alienated from me, I was having conversations with this thing.
Yeah.
I would close the door and lock everything up, and I would talk to this thing. And it would try to convince me to kill myself.
Yep. Yeah.
It's like, well, they don't want you. Why don't you just finish it off? You can come back and start fresh. Like, because, reincarnation's a thing. And I started seriously considering it. And when I caught myself considering it, that's when I got really scared.
Yeah.
And so it was really bad. It was horrifying. And it would show up. There's something called the doppelganger effect. That's one of the chapters in the Carpenter's Hammer. And it would show up. I would never know who I was talking to. It would show up as my brother, whom I hadn't seen in 20 years. He showed up, came to my office door, gave me a big hug. Oh, brother, I'm sorry you're feeling so bad. I'm sorry this. And then, I'm bawling, crying on his shoulder. And I look at him, and he has one blue eye and one green eye. And it's like, honest. And he started laughing and just faded out. So I'd never know who I was talking to. It screwed with my head a lot. And when I was finally rescued after all those years by Bill Bean, because my sister had dragged me to Gettysburg, to the Eisenhower Hotel, to phenomenology. It was like, no, I'm not letting anybody see me like this. I couldn't walk. I had to use a cane or crutches. Right. And I'm stubborn, so I didn't use either one. So I fell a lot. And I was so big and so ashamed of how I looked and felt. Yeah. And Bill saw me walking down the hall, and Bill grabbed him by the shoulder. Now, when a man that's 6'5" and about 280 pounds grabs you by the shoulder, and you can't walk, let alone run, you're not getting away. Yeah, and he says, "We're doing this right now." Yeah. So we did this right now, and he actually did a demonic deliverance on me in a hallway off the main lobby in the Eisenhower Hotel. Yeah. And it was amazing, the difference. I was 308 pounds. I couldn't stand up straight. And in 70 weeks, I lost 123 pounds. I was standing 5'9" again. I was healthy for the first time in decades. Yeah. I was single, and it was like my entire life was changed. Yeah, and that is the thing of it. That's how quick your life can turn around once somebody with the real
abilities, not abilities, but God-given abilities to do that
Exactly.
is able to help you, and they're not doing it. We all know they're not the ones doing it. Just like, we know that it's God doing it through them, right? And
Oh,
that's the
absolutely.
thing. That is the thing of it, and a lot of people don't totally get that. They think, oh, that exorcist is going to free me of it. It's not really the exorcist. It's
Yeah.
God through him.
I have people asking me about my powers. I don't have any powers. Good
Right,
grief.
exactly. Yeah,
I,
exactly. Yeah, people do
I,
ask
I
us that.
struggle
We're
to get
like,
out of bed in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
right,
My power
right.
is to make a cup of coffee. That's
Yeah,
it.
that's my power. I get up out of bed and make a cup of coffee. There's my power right there. And even that's by the grace of God,
Where it was like
So
Yep.
following me.
All by Keurig.
But yeah, it's been life changing. I mean, life changing good since Bill rescued me, and
yeah,
and I agree that we don't have powers. Nobody has superpowers.
no,
We are kind of a conduit, if you will. And
yep,
to be honest, I'm glad I went through what I went through, because when somebody looks at you and says, you don't understand, yeah, I kind of do.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
So it was, the boss knows what he's doing when he puts you
Yeah,
through your paces. And that's an education that I needed. So it was interesting. And I'm still growing. I'm 60 years old and I'm still growing and still learning. And lately I had to ask people for some prayers, because quite honestly, sometimes life steps on you and it wears you down. And I can't be any use to anybody else if I'm so dragged down. I have 4 people right now that need some pretty desperate help. There were 3. I just got an email that said, somebody was messing with a Ouija board, and we're in Ohio, and this bad stuff is happening, and I definitely have to get out there, but
yeah,
it's scheduling everything. But I have to be 100%. I really
right,
do.
Mm-hmm.
And,
right. That's right. That's right. We did have a
but I'm working
question
on that.
from. Yeah, well, we all have to work on it. We're not. None of us, I don't think, is 100% these days, with all this COVID stuff and everything else, and being locked down for so long. It's just, it wears us all down. But we did have a question, and it. I'll just let you answer it, but it has to do with the whole story you just said. He's I was this Irex
Mm-hmm.
818. What events led to the doppelganger appearing, or was it random? He just tuned in, and I'll just say it has to do with this whole demonic. Really almost a possession that Jeff was undergoing, and it was just part of some of this stuff. But was there anything particular you think led to that doppelganger?
No, it was just another step, another stage.
Okay.
It would appear as my spouse. It would, because we were kind of on the outs, and I will not speak ill of anyone, but my spouse would appear and all of a sudden be very loving and very caring, and, oh, what can I do for you? And I know you can't walk. Let me get you something to eat. And that was completely out of character. And then you would notice, because they can't do an exact copy. She had 6
Right.
fingers on her right hand.
Ah,
It
yeah.
was like,
Okay.
and I started to learn to look for that. But
Yeah.
that
And that's
was
the
what
thing
it
of it
was
is
doing.
that
It was
they
working
can't.
on me.
Yeah, and that's the thing of it. They can't duplicate somebody or things exactly, right? And that is kind of the tell,
No.
right? It's one of the tells.
But it got to the point where I didn't know who I was talking to. I didn't know if I was talking to this person or that person. I'd be playing a gig, and I'd look over and somebody would look a little different. Like if I was doing a fill-in thing, playing bass for somebody or something, and somebody would look a little different, and it would, like, it just messed with me. And then I started imagining things, starting to pick things out on people that weren't, a doppelganger. So it really, they do that on purpose. They mess with you so much.
Yeah, they do. And
Yeah,
well, Carly and I were involved, and Carly had her own. She knows exactly what you
I
went
still
through,
have
because
problems today with
she
trying to figure out, like, if someone approaches me, that's the first thing I do is I look for an abnormality.
Because she dealt with her demonic
That's what you're trained to do for survival at that point. You're just like, what the hell am I talking to?
Absolutely.
So it has a
Absolutely.
huge psychological effect on you afterwards too. Like it's not just like, I mean, physically, like there's a lot of improvements like shortly after, but you still have to deal with the psychological effects afterwards, and it takes a long time to get over.
I tell people, I give them a prescription, if you will. It's a prayer to say at night, and blessed oil, and I always tell them, so you don't forget, put some blessed oil on your forehead. Say this prayer on this card at night, every night before you take your shower, because that's just part of your routine. And they say forever. I said, I'm diabetic. I take medicine every day. It's forever. Just do it. If you want to stay healthy and you want this to be not to be a part of your life,
yep,
live a good life, but you got to take your prescription. And
exactly.
Sadly, a lot of people don't.
Right.
Or they'll go in all gung ho at first, and then I'll get a phone call.
You gotta do what you have to do to take care of yourself. And Ellen McNeil's out there too. She says the luscious leaper.
What?
And you know who Ellen is. Ellen is our team leader of Spirits in New England. She's my sister from another
McNeil.
Mother. So. Miss McNeil.
McNeil.
Yeah, that's her.
I love McNeil.
She's the one I have to share you with.
Yes, everybody loves Ellen. Everybody. It's like Raymond. Everybody loves Raymond. Everybody loves Ellen. So she could have her own TV show.
That's true. That's true. We should do a TV show with her.
That's it.
Everybody loves Ellen.
Everybody loves Ellen. And we do have a friend that might be joining us. I gave her the link. I don't know if she's trying to join us or not. Oh, there she is. This is she wants to ask you a few questions, and she didn't want to do it in the chat. But Candace Weston is our very good friend, and we're a member of her team, ICU Paranormal. And I also do a show with her Thursday nights too. So I'm going to bring her in so she can ask, because she really wants to ask you a few questions. So I'm going to bring her in here.
Sure.
Hello, young lady.
Yes.
I don't do this for just everybody, I don't just bring anybody in.
No, I was very intrigued by the conversation you were having. And so many things that I wanted to ask.
She'll show up in a minute, Scott.
It was too much to type. It was entirely too much to try to type.
Yeah, there's a lot of stories that contributed to this latest book. It's not done yet because I'm going to one more.
I'm sorry if I'm bombarding.
There is a delay. Just hold on a second. Okay. Jeff, can you hear Candace at all?
I can see her finally. She's pulling on her jacket there.
Yeah. There's probably just a delay on your end. So, but she's coming in. See if she can say something. See if he can hear you.
Jeff, you there? Can you hear me?
I are here.
Okay, he hears you. All right, now we're streaming. Okay.
I have so many questions because I'm very intrigued by your experiences and everything that you've had going on. So you have a couple of books going out there and demonic experiences you've experienced from what age? See, this is why I have so many questions. It was too much to type and try to put in there.
My first experiences of the paranormal were before I remember. My mother had to tell me about it.
Okay.
I would talk about the man in the hat, scream and stand up in my crib and scream and talk about the man in the hat. And he's always been there, the hat man. And he's been there generations back in my family. He'll be here in the next generations in my family. So there's been a lot of that.
Do you think that's demonic, or do you think that that's just a protector over your family? That's your protector.
And this is going to sound a little weird, but trust me.
Nothing is weird in this realm. I promise you. Nothing you can bring to us.
There are other dimensions, and there are creatures that aren't mentioned in the mainstream Bibles that were created for a specific purpose. And these are harbingers. They show up. They look after us. They watch us. And when something bad's going to happen or something different's going to happen, when a big change is coming, they'll show up.
I knew it.
And it's happened to me many times with this same the same hat man. He gave me one of the strangest experiences in my life. He saved my life twice that I know of. I mean, he literally saved my life twice that I know of. And he didn't want to do it. I could tell. It was like,
because he wanted you to find your own path and answer your own questions, because it's a path he can't guide you down a certain path.
No, no, but he's not allowed to interfere either. They have a pecking order. He has people that he has to get back to and say yes sir, no sir. And his hand's been on his palm for 60 years with me, because he has had to rescue me from things. And it's like, okay, I'm going to save your stupid butt, and I'm in trouble.
Well, it wasn't just you. There were several before you that he did the same through. It's been passed down through the ages.
It's happening all over the place. You see, people ask me, I mean, as a pastor and as a theologist, and I'm very lucky that I have access to some texts. They're sent to me in PDF, my email, actually every month. And there are things out there. People ask about heaven and hell and purgatory and this and that. The Hopi Indians talked about time travel and going back and forth from one place to another. And when people ask me, where are ghosts? They're here. Angels are here. Demons are here. Ghosts are here. Golems, wraiths, it doesn't matter. All that stuff is right here. We occupy the same space in a different place. Somebody says, a ghost came out of nowhere. No, he just stepped in. So those are my beliefs. Heaven isn't up there and hell isn't down there. They're over there.
I guess my biggest question so you're Catholic or spiritual? What are your beliefs?
I'm a minister, but I have studied the Catholic Bible because there's more books. I've studied different tomes and things like that a lot of people don't have access to. I've read the Jewish Bible. It's very interesting. I mean, you talk about demons, you talk about daemons, you talk about all these different creatures that God's created that just aren't mainstream, but they're there. And people ask me about demons, where they come from. Like I love Supernatural, the TV show, and I'm very fortunate I got to meet the guys from the show, at an event, and they're really, really nice. Although Jared Padalecki is like way up there, he's a big, tall guy, but they're really, really nice. And when people get killed, people get killed in Supernatural, they become demons, and when good people get killed, they become angels. It doesn't work that way. The angels were all created at the same time, millennia after millennia ago. And when the reckoning came in heaven, and 1/3 of the angels was expelled from heaven with Luciel, one of God's most beautiful. I mean, he wrote songs about Luciel, how beautiful and how wise and everything that Luciel was. He was an archangel and God's choir director. There's Castiel and Gabriel and Michael and Raphael and Luciel. And when Luciel was expelled from heaven, he became Lucifer, because the L stands for of God. So demons don't like us. And one way that they can get their revenge on God, because they know their time is short, one way they know they can get their revenge on God is by going after those that God created in his image.
That's kind of what I've watched in the show and kind of wanted to touch into, because it was more of giving your preface, your thought point, and everything behind everything that you felt. And there's so much symbolism behind everything that adheres to all that I kind of wanted you to go more in depth on that. So that's kind of why I was like, hey, can I tap in here for a second? Can I just ask him a couple of questions? Not to mention your
you're always welcome. You know that.
On how you feel about certain things. I mean, I love your perspective. Like you've studied a lot of different religions, and you just don't sit by the status quo. Like you walk a mile in everybody else's shoes, right? You do take a moment to see where everybody else would come from where they've been raised.
I'm just smart enough to know how dumb I am. I have seen
Right.
I was fortunate enough to work with a rabbi with a Dybbuk box 10 years ago, and I was fascinated. But he was effective, and I said, "Well, if he's effective, I can learn something from him." And I've worked with priests. I worked with a pagan. I've worked with all these different religions. I worked actually the Muslims have a 3-day rite of prayer to exorcise jinn. I mean, every major religion, has some sort of exorcism rite.
I would love to sit down and pick your brain on a lot of stuff, and I'm going to get out of your show. I'm sorry. I know I kind of bombarded this. But if
That's all right. They're good questions, and that's what this show is about, letting you guys come in and ask your questions.
Well, and it's some of the stuff too that, I mean, with Djinn, and a lot of different things, a lot of the religions, I would love to pick your brain and go further with this if you don't mind. I didn't mean to bombard your show. Hi, Carly. I love you. You're so pretty. Jack, I love you too. No, I was very intrigued by
the sort of stuff that we talk about just at dinner with people you just met. So it's, what's the use of me learning a couple of things without sharing?
Yeah, that's why, Candace, we got to get you down to Pennsylvania, or up from your direction to Pennsylvania.
I'm down. I will.
We got to get you to go to the Gettysburg Battlefield Bash. Okay. Jeff is always there. Jeff lives not too far from there. We can get together for dinner and you can hang out and ask all these questions.
Jeff there.
Yeah.
So send me
and don't forget Stephen Pam's the Hoover House.
Yes, that's right.
There's enough room there for everybody. It's beautiful.
That's right.
I was just there. It's unbelievable.
Oh, so you've been to the new place? Yeah. I can't wait to get to their new place. Yeah. It's friends of ours who own the Outlook House now got a new place. So we got to stay there. We got to go down and visit. It's an awesome looking place.
The Outlook House, the mail place.
Well, no, that's not. House? They don't run that anymore. They got a new.
No,
place
I know,
now,
but never mind. I was just joking.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Oh, sorry.
He had a real
good the Lookout House, not the Outlook House, not the mail.
Oh, I thought I said lookout. I thought I said lookout.
But that went way over your head.
I got an outlook. Okay. Yeah, I got an outlook on life. There you go.
I'll tell you all this. Don't you threaten me with a good time, because I promise you I will show up. So don't invite me if you really don't want me to be invited. So
No, we want you invited.
In my diary. That's the first time a girl said that to me in 20 years. So.
Okay, there was one other question. So your views upon demonics, like, do you think when you approach every negative spirit, do you honestly think that they're demonics, or do you think that you go cryptic and everything? So you
no, I'm very, very slow to use the D word.
Okay, thank you. That's the only other question I really had to ask, because he answered all the rest of them within 2 seconds of me just getting on.
Sometimes if you're an a-hole when you're alive, you're an a-hole when you're dead. Sometimes that's just the way it is.
That's my dude right there, Jack. I love him.
Yep.
That's my dude.
We love you too, as always. We love you too. So. All right. Well, we're going to throw you off now for a little bit, but hey, I'll see you again on Thursday.
Yes. I love y'all. Bye.
Bye. She's a good
yeah,
kid.
She's a pretty cool kid.
She's a very good investigator, and she's got a great show of her own that I help her out with. I'm just there for filler, but she does do oh my God! What is our other show? It's Carly. Remind me quick, because my mind just went blank.
Collective of the Unseen.
No, Seekers of the Unseen.
Seekers of the Unseen.
Yes, yeah. So we do that show every Thursday night. My God, my mind just went whoop, right out the window. I think it's because we're listening to so much good stuff here with Jeff.
Or maybe it went out to look for mine.
Yeah, it went out somewhere anyway. I don't know. So Barry says he was glad to meet you down at Gettysburg Bash last summer, which is, it was cool. We all had a good time down there. Even though the bash didn't happen, we still all got together and had a good time.
There's so many great people that showed up anyway,
That's right.
And this
Nick
year's going to
Soap,
be great.
Yep. Yes, it will be. Yeah, it will be. We'll finally actually all get back together again for real and, have some good times, have some fun.
Yeah, make Molly shoot milk out her nose at breakfast.
Yeah, yeah. You didn't see the first time she was there and she scoffed down a bunch of waffles. I think it was waffles, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, she scoffed them down
I
so
finished it
fast.
before
Even
everybody else had their breakfast out.
yeah, and the waitress came by and she goes, "Oh, didn't like that, did you?" She goes, "You want me to get you some more?" It was a huge
Now,
plate
that
of
was
them.
hangry. That was hangry.
Yeah.
She was hungry and grumpy,
It's all,
and she needed the food now.
Yes, yeah, and I don't even our friend Sarah was like, "Did you even taste of that?"
I couldn't stand the
Just like
sight of it, so I ate it to get it out of my sight.
Yeah, that's right. I just needed to get rid of it.
I tasted it on the way down.
I don't know how you could. I think you just swallowed. It was gone.
Gosh. But
Gone. But we always have a good time down there. So anybody who can, you should make it down there. I know Chris
Oh, my
Sanders
God.
would probably be down there.
And don't forget
quite a few others.
don't forget the Hoover House. I mean, if you want a great haunted experience, I already saw them. I mean, they're table tipping and stuff there, and the place is just insane, absolutely insane.
Yeah, we got to definitely get.
They have like they're like commercial restrooms and things like that, and suites. There's like 7 suites. It's amazing.
I know.
And one of them's called the Holters.
Yeah, they were telling me it was a really awesome place. I saw the photos and stuff they were posting of it. I told her we'd be down in the spring. So
Great,
we'll be coming down in the spring. Yeah, I just gotta wait for this crappy weather to get past. So you're lucky. You live right near there. You live like what, 45 minutes away or something like that. Not even that.
From their place.
Yeah,
about 40 minutes.
Yeah, I was gonna say. So,
but I'll tell you what, I've been telling them that entire town. I passed their place and turned right. I went up. There's this huge, humongous, white, like a dirty white house, and it just about broke my neck the way my head snapped over toward that place. It was like somebody grabbed me by the beard and said, "You got to come in here." The entire town is like ghost central. We all need to buy houses in there and have a haunted village.
We'll just have the real haunted town right there. Hey, I'm not opposed to that. Maybe I'll come move down there. It's got to be better than New York State.
There you go. Or Gettysburg.
Yeah, it's got to be better than New York. Our taxes are awful up here. It's getting worse. So, I need to move. Need to move somewhere. So, but hey, how would you like to play us a song? As long as we still got you on here and you've had a bunch of questions. How'd you like to play us a little ditty for all of our friends and fans out there? We would love to hear you, Jeff. I will turn the stage over to Jeff here. See if this works out right. Oh, I did want to put that up there. This is Jeff's website. If you want to check out more about him, you can go there. And it's jeffleeper.net. That's jeffleeper.net.
Yeah, and you'll find out about all the TV stuff and all the. I need to update it because I have new events and stuff to do.
Right.
And Jack will tell you some of the TV stuff. Right now, with all the COVID stuff, is like, you get four episodes in the can in post production, and then it's like, well, we don't know when we're going out again until. So it's driving us all crazy.
That's right.
And I'm really looking forward to working with you guys. So
yeah,
maybe let's get in the car and drive up there.
Same here. We can't wait to get working with you again. I'm going to give you a solo here so you can play your song and entertain us all for a little bit. Here you go, Jeff. You'll still hear us in the background.
Okay. I don't know why you know what to play. I got the. I can conceal a tender feeling while you are close to me, I look at you with tender feelings and can't help but kiss you tenderly. See, I got all these here pretty slow songs, and I got no girls to sing them to. So it's really embarrassing. So Jack, if you wouldn't mind putting on a wig.
I could do that if you like. Yeah.
Oh, where is it? Oh.
Charlie's got to find my wig. Yeah. She's got to
No,
find my
for
wig.
real.
Well, now I'm learning new things about you that I did not know.
She got this for me special. You didn't know that?
Oh,
Go
no,
ahead.
you actually have a wig?
Yeah. Well, she bought it for me. Yeah. I'm gonna say she bought it for me. She actually bought it for herself for something she was doing. When she used to, what was it? What'd you call it? Oh, Comic-Con. She was doing a character at Comic-Con, but
Okay.
she found this
Well,
wig
no,
when
it's
we were
fine with
moving.
me if you want to wear a wig.
I don't know if we know where it is anymore, but
no judgment.
it used to be up on the shelf above our clothes where our clothes were hanging. Anyway, so she'll find it. You never saw it. I'll have to send you the picture of me with a guitar and another wig on when I was one day here at Salem Con. No, I'll have to send you a picture of that.
That would be.
I don't have it here. I would post it right up, but I don't have the photo here. So I think it's on my phone.
That would be
well,
very
don't worry about it.
I'm so fortunate that that at 60.
You couldn't find it? Oh, here you go. Here you go, baby.
Oh man. You know what? If I had a glass of wine and one more X chromosome, I would be all over you.
How you doing, honey?
That's a little frightening.
This is my wig, man. My wig, man.
Oh my gosh.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am off the market. No, man. The things you see when you don't have a gallon of butter flavored Crisco.
What makes you think I would want you, big boy?
You just said it.
Oh my god!
My persona. This is my other. This is my other persona. Yeah. I almost
I'm totally gonna sing this song.
I guess if I was blonde, I might look like what's their names? Where you had the two guys.
I got a song to sing to Jack right now.
You can sing me a song. Go ahead, sing me a song. There goes my ear.
Did you say I've got a lot to learn? Well, don't think I'm trying not to learn. 'Cause this is the perfect spot to learn. Teach me tonight. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Starting with the ABC of it.
Oh yeah, baby.
Right down to the XYZ of it. Carly's back there dying.
She can deal with it.
Oh
Teach
my
me.
god!
Here comes the hot. The sky's a blackboard high above you. If a shooting star goes by, I'll use that star to write I love you. 1,000 times across the sky. All right, that's enough of that. That's ridiculous. But anyway.
So does my hair too. I think it's got its own life here too. It looks like it's alive. I think.
See, this is the kind of crap you deal with when you're dealing with me. There we go. See, I killed it.
Crap! It's all fun and
But,
good time.
yeah,
That's what we're all about.
When
Oh,
Jack
no.
went, "Oh yeah, baby," that's when I lost all of my stuff that I had. Like any hold that I had just went out the window.
Hey, we know how to have some fun on this show too. And if that wasn't paranormal, I don't know what is.
It was a pair of something.
Or something. Or a gork. Oh. The
Well,
wig
yeah,
doesn't help.
isn't it
Jack,
funny how you can
Ronnie.
go from demons and scary stuff and Hatman to to flirting with a man in a wig? I mean,
That's demonic in itself, potentially. I don't know.
I'm telling you what, it's some scary stuff. I'll have nightmares, and so will most everybody that's watching this. But
Yes,
I've had some.
I'm posting some of the comments.
But
that
your
one-
singing
Oh,
and
no.
your musician skills are amazing.
Nick says, "Don't worry, Curly. I'm feeling the same way."
Thank you, Nick. Literally.
Carl Mitchell says, "Won't be able to sleep now." Barry says, "Poor Carly."
Yeah, poor Carly was back there. I was afraid she's gonna have to run for the restroom.
I had to get a grip, and then when I heard Jack in my ear going, "Oh yeah, baby," I just lost it.
And Nick asked if I turned into an
That's
80s
probably the
rock
first time you've
star
ever heard him
girl.
say
The answer is yeah.
Oh goodness,
We'll
that
pretend
was
I didn't
awesome
say
though,
that,
Jeff.
too.
Oh, you should have been there when I was walking around the room with a wig on and stuff with somebody's guitar at Salem Con and playing music for everybody. I really wasn't
I don't want to
playing, but
miss
I was
Salem
like
Con again.
strumming, just strumming, going, "Yeah, baby, I'm a rock star."
Oh.
It was fun. Yeah, we have a good time.
But yeah,
That's what it's all about. We have a good time.
you got to. And you know what? Most people who do this scary job, you'll find have a absolute ridiculous, crazy, nutty side, because life needs balance.
Mm-hmm.
When you see things that, and believe me, at first, I have gone weeks without sleeping. I mean, I've gone sleepless nights, restless nights, days when you're sick in the stomach. And you know how that is. Sometimes you're sick for a couple of weeks after that.
Yes.
You need balance. So you need a little bit of craziness. You need some positivity. And you have to get a little crazy sometimes. You have to enjoy life. And especially when you have people that you love, people that enjoy life with you. That just brings it all back out. Yeah,
it's true. It was true. You do have to, like I said, enjoy life a little bit, have a little fun with it, because, like you said, when we do these cases, when we do this type of stuff, even just regular haunting cases, it's still draining. I mean, you get that paranormal hangover, right? I mean, that's literally what you get.
Oh, yeah. I have told a couple people about this, and since people wonder about it, you get people that say, I want to be you. Oh boy, you do the TV stuff, you do this, you do that. Oh, I saw the TV stars up there beating demons up and stuff. I want to be you. No, you don't. Trust me on this.
No,
they think, you got money, you got fame, you got women, you got this, you got that. I got, and just like I have told some people, and this is my situation right now. Who knows that it might not be again? It has been off and on for the last 10 years.
Right.
You put yourself into a position where, and I can't blame them. People don't want to be involved with people like this. Right. People really want you around when it's necessary, and I'm not complaining. I mean, this is, I could get out of this anytime I want and go
play your music.
Again, I can't because it's a responsibility. But yeah, I mean, the guy that wrote all this stuff to me, I want to be you. I know I want to train with you. I want to do this. No, you want to train with me because you want to get famous, because you want to get on TV, because that's not how it works.
Right.
Most people who do that never get on TV. Never get famous. They never get this. They never get rich. That's for dang sure.
Oh, maybe it's me. Hang on.
I mean, it costs me a lot of money every time I do this. But I got news for you. At this point in my life, I own nothing. I belong nowhere. I belong to no one. No one belongs to me. That's the way it is. That's the reality of life. And if you're willing to live in that situation, even for short periods of time, okay, we'll talk. But if you're, oh, I want to get on, a TV show with this guy or that guy, or, or I'm smarter than this guy, so I should be doing it. No, you're not. You're not. I'm not. The reason I call the book The Carpenter's Hammer is because I do nothing. I show up.
Damn it.
I'm afraid of some things. I'm not afraid of things maybe I should be. But I show up. I say the right words. I'm given the right words to say. I've had the experience now that I can help people use their own faith to help me. Because when they call you, they're out of options, or they don't call you. That's why they call you. That's why they want help. They don't have any faith left. They have to rely on yours. And you better have enough to spread it around. They're afraid. So you have to be braver than you really are, because you have to spread that around. They're negative and they think everything's going downhill, and you have to be absolutely positive that, look, this ends today. No matter how this comes out, your situation, the way it is right now, will be different after this. And you have to be able to make sure they know it.
Mm-hmm.
Because there aren't a lot of people who do this. And that doesn't make me special. Maybe it makes me stupid. But it's a responsibility. And as much as I would love to just quit and go bye-bye, it doesn't work that way. When I got out of school, I thought, oh boy, I'm going to get myself a cute little church in a cute little town with a picket fence. And every Sunday, somebody's going to invite me over for chicken dinner. And it's going to be just like, a movie of the week. And no, I didn't plan on having my throat grabbed by a victim that was half my size, but could still lift me up in the air at the end of her arm. I didn't plan on that stuff. I didn't plan. The first time I saw somebody's, and it really happens, the first time I saw somebody's eyes go black, I thought I was going to throw up.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, but you have to act brave. You have to pretend it doesn't bother you, because you have all these people dependent on it. There's a lot of horrifying stuff out there. So people that say, I want to do this, I want to do this. No, you don't. There's all kinds of stuff you can do to help people.
Yeah.
This is not.
It's a calling. It's a calling to do it. It is a calling to do it. And you do it reluctantly, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Ronnie Cole has a question. He says, do you have any regrets?
Yeah. I don't have any regrets when I think about how blessed I am to have been helping so many people. I don't have regrets there. I have regrets. When you tell somebody that you do this, I mean, let's say you meet a young lady and you're very attracted to her, and she's attracted to you. But you can't wait around to tell her you do this. You have to say, by the way, sit down, I have to tell you something. You can't go more than like two dinners, you know what I mean? And it's like, by the way, I have to tell you something. And most of the time it's like, yeah, thanks. It's been awful nice. And they go toddling off, and you don't blame them in the least. You just don't blame them in the least. It takes somebody who's afraid of the wrong things to be in a long-term relationship with somebody who's afraid of the wrong things. And that's the way it is. Sometimes you find your Carly like you did.
Right. Yeah. You just never know. You know, you never know who it's going to be and when they're going to show up. You really don't. You know,
or if they will,
or if they will. That's right.
It's more like he got stuck with me, so you can feel better.
I did not get stuck with you. Far from it. You got stuck with me, maybe, but yeah.
But
But we left just for a minute. He's circulating there. He'll be back in a minute. But again, we're getting close to the end here. But Jeff will be back, and we'll have him talk some more. He's coming right back on. There he is. But we're getting close to the end here. Jeff, is there anything you want to talk about? Anything you want to push? Anything you want your book? You want to talk about that?
Well, I have a few books out right now. I have some short stories in Amazing Paranormal Tales 3 and 4. They went to #1 in the best-selling list on Amazon in their category, which was kind of cool. Carpenter Hammer is on its way. I have a new publisher. Scalded Daddy Parts has sold a lot of books. You can still get it on Amazon, and that's a lot of fun. The only one that's not scary. And we're still at it. We're still going. Like I said, I have 4 cases right now that are kind of bearing down on me that I have to take. And I know these people are anxious and they're impatient because they finally found, somebody that can possibly help out with their problem. And getting to them is always a difficulty. The first one that I'm going to take care of is in Maryland, and after that, whichever one I can get to, closest next. And I have one just came up in Ohio. I have to schedule it as well, but it's going to be #4 on the list because there are people ahead of her. So it's that's not easy.
Right.
I figure one of these days I'll find my very own Lorraine, and I'll be okay. It'll make travel a little easier.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything worse than when you finish a job, you finish the work helping somebody, and you're driving home 6 hours or so, and it's a spiritual experience, it's a physical experience, but the hardest that I get hit is emotion.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're driving home, 5 or 6 hours by yourself, middle of the night, there's going to be time when you're looking for a place to pull over because you have to just absolutely fall apart. And you do. And it's embarrassing to say it. And it'll probably make people look at me a little funny, but I will sometimes I'll just absolutely fall apart. I can't talk. It's so emotional.
Right.
But when you see people whose lives are completely changed, and they think you did it, you did.
Yeah.
But when their lives are completely changed, the Carpenter's Hammer was named that because the boss looked down and gave me a pretty good line. And I'll share that with you real quick.
Yeah.
I was lucky.
Nope.
Oh.
That's streaming. It's always tough when people are using their phones because they do end up cutting out a lot.
Yeah.
He'll be back. It's almost like somebody didn't want him to say that. That's almost like somebody didn't want you to talk about that for a second.
I know. I was lucky enough to help a family, and the young lady that was involved, it happens all the time. They cry and they hug you, and they cry and they hug you, and which I didn't mind. She was kind of cute, but no, she said something that kind of took me back, and she said, "You're the most amazing man I've ever met." And I was ashamed hearing it. And I said, so I stepped back. I held her by the shoulders and I said, "Look, that's not true. It's very sweet of you to say that, but it's not true."
Yeah.
I said, when somebody builds you a house, you don't thank the hammer, you thank the carpenter. I'm just the hammer, and I happen to work for the most famous carpenter in history. And I thought, wow, where did that come from? The boss gave me that.
That's right. That's right.
So that's why the book's called The Carpenter's Hammer, because one of the things I don't want people to do is give me all this glory, give me all this, ooh, ah, you're awesome. And because I'm not, I'm just the hammer, and I'm completely useless if I'm just laying there. When the carpenter picks me up and uses me to drive his nails, then I'm worth something. But it's not me, and just about the time these people start thinking, look at me, look how cool I am, I'm doing this, that's when they get in trouble. Yeah. Because that's not where the glory is supposed to go.
That's right. That's right.
Well, it's very symbolic because if you really think about it, with carpentry and stuff, because my grandfather used to be a carpenter. I mean, they use tools like us to create the most beautiful things and most intricate things, and they wouldn't be able to do it without us. So, that's also a very humbling experience to be able to, be a part of that and witness that, and,
Right.
be able to experience the beauty of, the witnessing of a deliverance, or, the witnessing of mercy and grace. It is a very humbling experience, and not many people get to see it and appreciate it.
He completely rebuilds a life. You're right. He completely rebuilds a life. And we're just the tools. If you ask anybody in the field, they'll tell you I'm a tool.
Yeah, you, me, and a few others I know.
Maybe I don't express myself well.
You're amazing, Jeff. We love you.
We do love
I
you.
love you.
And thanks
too.
for coming on the show tonight. We really appreciate
Well,
that.
thanks
So
for
we're gonna
having
have you back again. We're definitely gonna have
I
you
would
back
love
again if you'll come. If you'll come.
Yeah.
I would be delighted.
And we hope we'll get to see you soon for some events, because we need to all hang out together sometime again.
Yeah. Well, it'll be coming up. Hopefully before August, but we'll be back down. Like I said, we're gonna go down to visit in the spring, and we'll see you then for sure.
Yeah.
So because
Hey,
we'll be
maybe
down
I'll
just
come up your way.
yeah, that'd be good too. I'd love to have you up this way. And things
Well,
are
that
getting
which
better
city
within the
thing,
country.
I was going to do it last year. Maybe they'll take me back.
Where's that?
That which city thing in Salem?
Oh, yes, sir. Which city, Perry County? Yeah, we moved that. It did get moved to November, first
Okay.
weekend in November. So I think that was the right move, given what's still going on out in Boston and
Oh, yeah.
Massachusetts area. Yeah, they're still kind of pretty locked down with stuff out there. It was actually the hotels that suggested it to the group to do that. So they smartly they took their advice, and we moved it a little further down the road. But it's still happening, still going on. The schedule's still the same unless somebody lets us know they can't make it for any reason. But we're all good to go, and it'll be great to have you there. And we're going to make sure you get here one way or another. Don't worry. If I got to come down and get you and bring you up, I'll do it.
Okay.
So there you go. But again, Jeff, pleasure as always. And thank you for the extra treat tonight of that nice little performance. We appreciate it.
Oh, that was fun. As long as
All
it
right.
got to you a little bit, that's all I care.
Oh my
guess
gosh.
something got
Yep.
to me anyway. I
It
don't
put a
know
tear
what
in
it
my
was,
It might have been that meatloaf.
I think I put a lot of tears in everybody's eyes tonight. Yeah, for one reason or another.
But you really are talented. All in all, you really are talented, and it's just
Yes, you are.
you're really good at it. So
Yep. So have a good night, my friend. We'll catch you on the rebound. Okay.
Okay, love you guys.
I love you
Thanks.
too. Good night. And thank you, everybody else, for joining us tonight. We greatly appreciate it. You're all wonderful people. We hope you enjoyed it, especially the wig. We try to make you laugh on this show, too. And think of us as a paranormal variety show. Think of us that way,
positive vibes all around.
All positive vibes all around. If you're looking for any good books to read out there, you can find my books online at Amazon.com, BarnesandNoble.com. Just doing a search term for Jack Kenna, and you will find it out there. And again, thanks everybody for coming on tonight. Love you all, and we'll see you all again next week. Have a good night, everybody. Yay. I can do this.